The F-15E Strike Eagle is a dual-role fighter designed for both air superiority and ground attack, making it a critical asset in modern air operations. Its versatility and power come from its sophisticated systems, high payload capacity, and adaptability. However, ensuring the F-15E is ready to fly and fight involves the coordination of a dedicated team of ground crew members who manage everything from pre-flight checks to the taxiing of the aircraft before takeoff. The preparation for an F-15E Strike Eagle mission begins with a detailed pre-flight briefing. Pilots, navigators, and the ground crew review the mission objectives, which could range from air-to-ground strikes to air dominance patrols. Mission planning determines the loadout, including weapons, targeting pods, fuel, and any additional equipment needed for the mission's success. This crucial phase informs the crew of potential threats, weather conditions, and any other mission parameters. Ground crew roles and responsibilities. Once the briefing is complete, the ground crew starts preparing the F-15E. This team is composed of several specialists, each responsible for different aspects of the aircraft's readiness. These roles include crew chiefs. These individuals oversee the entire maintenance and preparation process. They conduct pre-flight inspections, ensuring that the aircraft is structurally sound and systems are functioning properly. Weapons specialists, responsible for loading and arming the F-15E's weapon systems, including air-to-air missiles, precision-guided bombs, and other munitions depending on the mission. They ensure all munitions are properly secured and connected to the aircraft's fire control systems. Avionics technicians. These experts handle the sophisticated electronics aboard the F-15E, checking radar systems, targeting pods, communication systems, and navigation tools. Their job is to ensure the pilot has complete control over all systems during flight. Fuel specialists. Ensuring the aircraft has the right amount of fuel for the mission is critical, especially for long-range operations. Fuel specialists top off the tanks and double-check for any leaks or issues. Engine mechanics, responsible for inspecting and maintaining the F-15E's twin Pratt & Whitney F-100 engines. Engine mechanics conduct checks to ensure the engines are functioning properly and delivering the necessary thrust. Pre-flight inspections. Once the crew has completed their respective tasks, the pre-flight inspection phase begins. This is a collaborative effort between the ground crew and the pilot. The crew chief and pilot walk around the aircraft, visually checking for any signs of wear, leaks, or damage. They inspect the landing gear, control surfaces, and external components like air intakes and exhausts. The pilot sits in the cockpit, working closely with avionics technicians to run through a checklist of systems. This includes checking the flight controls, radar, communication equipment, and targeting systems. The ground crew monitors these systems from the ground, providing real-time feedback. Weapons specialists conduct a final check on the loaded munitions, ensuring they are properly secured and connected to the jet's fire control systems. Safety pins are placed to prevent accidental discharge until the aircraft is airborne. Once the pre-flight checks are complete, the F-15E's engines are started. The crew chief typically coordinates the startup, standing near the jet to monitor for any unusual sounds, vibrations, or signs of engine trouble. The engines roar to life, and the exhaust from the twin afterburners can be seen pouring out the back of the aircraft. With engines running, the ground crew signals the pilot to begin taxiing the aircraft from its parking area to the runway. The crew chiefs and wing walkers guide the F-15E as it makes its way through the crowded airfield, ensuring that it avoids any obstacles or hazards. The pilot tests the brakes, steering, and control surfaces while taxiing to confirm everything is operational. The ground crew is often in constant communication with the pilot, providing signals and ensuring the aircraft's path is clear. Once the F-15E reaches the runway, the pilot positions the jet for takeoff. Before the crew begins the takeoff sequence, they conduct a final pre-flight briefing. The pilot and WSO review the mission objectives, flight path, and potential threats. During this time, they also confirm the loadout, everything from air-to-air missiles and precision-guided bombs to the fuel tanks necessary for long missions. Once the briefing is complete, the pilot and WSO enter the F-15E cockpit and start their pre-takeoff systems checks. Takeoff power and precision. When given clearance by the control tower, the pilot advances the twin Pratt & Whitney F-100 engines to full military power, and the F-15E starts rolling down the runway. For missions requiring rapid ascent and full speed, the pilot engages the afterburners. These afterburners add extra thrust by injecting fuel directly into the engine's exhaust, creating a fiery plume behind the jet. The acceleration is intense as the F-15E quickly gains speed. Within seconds, the aircraft reaches its takeoff speed around 150 to 200 mph, 240 to 320 kmh, and the pilot pulls back on the control stick, lifting the aircraft smoothly off the ground. As the landing gear retracts, the Strike Eagle climbs steeply into the sky. Climbing and reaching supersonic speeds. Once airborne, the F-15E rapidly ascends to its designated altitude, often climbing several thousand feet in a matter of minutes. Depending on the mission, the pilot may choose to reach supersonic speeds shortly after takeoff. The F-15E is capable of reaching speeds of over Mach 2.5, approximately 1,900 mph or 3,058 kmh at high altitude, making it one of the fastest jets in the world. As the pilot engages full afterburners, the jet accelerates past the speed of sound, creating the iconic sonic boom. The sensation of flying at these speeds is both thrilling and challenging, requiring precise control and constant monitoring of the aircraft's systems. Throttle control. The pilot manages the engines carefully, adjusting the throttle to maintain optimal speed. Full afterburner thrust is not always necessary, so the pilot may toggle between military power and afterburner settings based on fuel consumption and mission requirements. Systems management. The WSO assists the pilot by managing radar systems, targeting information, and weapon systems. Their role is critical in ensuring that the jet remains combat-ready even while flying at high speeds. Tactical maneuvers at full speed. While flying at full speed, the F-15E is not only fast but also incredibly maneuverable. The pilot can execute high-speed turns, rolls, and climbs, giving the aircraft an edge in both dogfights and ground attack missions. The aircraft's maneuverability allows it to evade enemy radar and missile threats while maintaining offensive capabilities. During tactical maneuvers, the G-forces on the pilot and WSO can be extreme, especially when performing tight turns or pulling out of high-speed dives. The crew's G-suits help counteract the physical effects of these forces, ensuring they remain alert and focused on the mission. Dogfighting. In air-to-air combat scenarios, flying at full speed allows the F-15E to engage enemy aircraft quickly and gain the upper hand in a dogfight. The jet's radar systems can lock onto multiple targets, and the pilot can use its high speed to close in on or evade enemy aircraft. Ground attack. For ground missions, speed is essential to minimize exposure to enemy anti-aircraft fire. The F-15E's ability to reach target zones rapidly allows it to deliver precision-guided bombs and missiles and escape before the enemy can react. Navigating challenges at full speed. Flying at full speed in the F-15E presents a unique set of challenges. High speeds can lead to increased fuel consumption, so the pilot must balance the use of afterburners with the need to conserve fuel for extended missions. Additionally, flying at supersonic speeds makes communication more difficult due to the immense noise created by the engines and air pressure around the cockpit. The WSO plays an essential role in navigating these challenges by monitoring systems and maintaining communication with command and control. The two-person crew dynamic is vital in ensuring that the jet remains operational, especially during high-intensity missions where split-second decisions can determine success or failure. Returning to base. After completing their mission, the crew initiates their return flight, often maintaining high speeds to exit the combat zone quickly. Once safely out of enemy range, the pilot gradually reduces speed, disengaging the afterburners and allowing the aircraft to cruise at subsonic speeds. As the F-15E approaches the base, the pilot communicates with the control tower to receive landing instructions. The descent is carefully managed to reduce speed, and once the jet touches down, the ground crew takes over to guide the aircraft to its parking spot for post-flight checks. Flying the F-15E Strike Eagle at full speed showcases the immense power, precision, and coordination required to operate one of the world's most advanced fighter jets. From the thunderous takeoff to the exhilaration of supersonic flight, the crew must work in unison to maintain control, complete the mission, and safely return to base. The F-15E's ability to fly at such speeds while remaining combat effective highlights why it continues to be a cornerstone of US air superiority.